What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Cosmic Wonder. We have a lot of new info about Phase 7 of the MCU today. Now, of course, this will be after the reboot of the MCU, which Marvel's president already confirmed is going to happen during or after Avengers Secret Wars. So after, it looks like Deadpool is going to be getting his own mutant team, and the X-Men, well, it looks like Marvel Studios have a path that they really want to go down for the X-Men, which we'll dive into in this video. Now, as far as Phase 6 is concerned, I know some people might be wondering this. We're pretty sure at this point in time we've got everything for Phase 6. It looks like it's going to be Avengers Doomsday, then Avengers Secret Wars. There could be a mystery movie in between, but if there is, it's most likely going to be Doctor Strange 3. However, at this point in time, I wouldn't be surprised if, honestly, Marvel just left a year in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, since Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, said that it's okay to let people miss Marvel. But after Secret Wars, Phase 7 comes, the new universe comes, the X-Men come, and that means a new Deadpool movie as well. Now, Ryan Reynolds has already said, he's confirmed this himself, he is working on a new Deadpool movie. This was in an interview with Time magazine. It came about 5 months ago, but he did confirm that he is writing an ensemble movie, meaning it's not just going to be him and maybe just Wolverine, but it's going to be a pretty big team-up movie. And now, thanks to some insiders, we have more information about what is happening post Avengers Secret Wars. In an article titled Ryan Reynolds Developing Mutants Team-Up Film for MCU's Next Saga, we have learned that the insider Daniel RPK on a Patreon post said that Ryan Reynolds is developing his own Mutants Team-Up film for the next saga. So he has recently learned more about this project, meaning they're actively going to be working on this project right now. And we do know, because Kevin Feige he's told us this before, he is actively working on those projects for Phase 7, for Phase 8, and even Phase 9. He has told us that they work pretty far out compared to what they've actually announced. So they typically say they have between 5 to 10 years planned on top of what has already been revealed. So that would be Secret Wars. That's the last thing they've revealed. So they have 5 to 10 years already planned, which means they have all their X-Men movies planned, which apparently is going to be a Deadpool movie as well. Now, it's not going to be titled a Deadpool movie, but it looks like he is going to get some mutants. Now, a lot of people think that this could be an X-Force movie, or perhaps it could be Deadpool, Wolverine, and Gambit, which is something that we've heard Ryan Reynolds wants to do. And Gambit is returning in Avengers Doomsday. That's confirmed. So perhaps that's the route we're going to go down here. Now, Ryan Reynolds did say in that interview with Time magazine that if Deadpool becomes an Avenger, then that's kind of the end of the line for him. That's the end of the story. So it looks like in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, he will be a part of the overall Avengers team, much like the Guardians of the Galaxy in Avengers Endgame and Infinity War were kind of under the Avengers umbrella, but they were still the Guardians of the Galaxy. This is going to be pretty much the same thing. It looks like Deadpool will be a part of Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, but then he's really going to go on to have his own team, which is not the Avengers, again, most likely the X-Force. But check out what he said in that interview with Time.
Actor, I'm writing a little something right now that is, I don't know, is it ensemble, but it's...
Ensemble.
I like that he's isolated. If Deadpool becomes an Avenger or an X-Men, we're at the end. That's his wish fulfillment, and you can't give him that for a long time. So.
You can't give him his wish fulfillment. I'm pretty sure we're going to get that Thor scene in Avengers Doomsday. That seems like, or Secret Wars, that seems like something we have to do, but Deadpool is getting his own team. It's going to involve some mutants, and I'm assuming the movie will be rated R as well. So Kevin Feige, head of Marvel Studios, probably isn't going to just let him get whoever he wants. They're going to have to be very specific mutants, and I'm assuming if they're doing the X-Men movie, which we know they are, pretty quickly around Deadpool, like if they're pretty close together, he's not letting him choose anybody from the X-Men films. Whoever's going to appear as the new X-Men in the MCU, Ryan Reynolds isn't going to be able to touch. So we'll wait and see on who the cast is, but go ahead and let me know who you would like to see Deadpool and Wolverine team up with. I'm going to assume that it's Gambit. Now, like I also said, we do have a new X-Men report. We'll get to that in just a bit, but first, big thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. You might have noticed some changes we've made to the channel lately, and this is because we really want to build a community because life is easier with people around you who care. I know life can get really hard sometimes, but I'm glad this community is there for each other to help. And I really want to say that there's nothing wrong with seeking help if you think you need it. And if you think you need it, I wouldn't put off asking for help. I put off going to therapy for such a long time, but I really wish I hadn't because I can genuinely say that seeing a therapist has helped ease some of the pain and made life a little lighter. And if you are someone who might want to ask for help, BetterHelp, our sponsor of this video, is on a mission to make starting therapy easier. All you have to do is fill out a questionnaire and you will match with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. And you can easily switch therapists at no extra cost if your match isn't the right fit. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform you can trust. Click on the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/cosmicwonder to get 10% off your first month of therapy. Now, there's a new report also from Daniel RPK that states Marvel Studios is reportedly planning the next saga of the MCU around X-Men villains Mr. Sinister and Apocalypse. The studio has some actors in mind, but no one has been cast yet. These, honestly, are probably the two villains that they should focus on for the new chapter of the X-Men, the very beginning. Now, of course, we're going to get a lot of kind of the internal conflict between Professor Xavier and Magneto. That's definitely going to happen, but I think they definitely have to build to that. They should take their time with the X-Men, and having these villains come in, I think would work really well. And the Apocalypse story, that's a big one. And if you're going to have the first X-Men saga in the MCU, you want to go big. You also want to take your time. They can really build up to Apocalypse, do time travel, all of that. It could really be done very, very well. So this is an excellent choice if this is the route that they want to go down. Now, we do have a director for the X-Men, Jake Schreier, and he said this recently: "The core idea of what X-Men is involves complexity. It's an incredible opportunity with super interesting characters and much internal conflict. These characters are wrestling with their identity and place in the world. That's inherently interesting and complex material." So right here, they tell us they are indeed going to explore basically the conflict between humanity and the X-Men. And of course, with that, we will get Professor Xavier's side, and then we'll get Magneto's side. So that's going to be a really big thing. So obviously, everyone who they are going to cast is going to be very important, but Professor X casting and the Magneto casting, they're going to be really important as well, because it looks like they're really, this is going to be the big story that's told over time, where they're just going to clash with each other about their ideas of how they fit within humanity and society. Obviously, Magneto, he thinks very differently than Professor X. Professor X wants to be with humanity and he wants to help, while Magneto thinks of the mutants as a superior race. And honestly, could you really blame him? But we know that Marvel Studios, they're really taking their time with this. They're making sure everything is right. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige said this when speaking about the X-Men appearing in the MCU: "I think you will see that continue in our next few movies, with some X-Men players that you might recognize. Right after that, the whole story of Secret Wars really leads us into a new age of mutants and of the X-Men. Again, it's one of those dreams come true. We finally have the X-Men back." And well, we've had them back for a long time now. It is nice to know that they've taken their time and didn't just rush to put them in the multiverse saga, but are basically waiting until they have their own saga, which of course we've all been calling the mutant saga. And Kevin Feige has actually said that as well. He has said the mutant era is coming. So we have a pretty good director for the X-Men. We have Jake Schreier. We have a really good writer for the X-Men film, Michael Leslie. And now we're just waiting on the cast. It looks like we even have our villains now, Mr. Sinister and Apocalypse. Again, I think these are pretty good villains to start with. Let me know what you think about these. Would you rather them start with something else or not? And personally, I'd really like to see an X-Men First Class. I'd like to see that team. I'd really like to see Cyclops be kind of the out in the field leader, of course, them being under Professor X, but still, I'd really love to see that X-Men First Class team, especially because I really want to see the story with Cyclops and Jean come to fruition on screen in handled a different way than the original X-Men trilogy handled it. But this is what we know so far. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, both about the X-Men villains, the direction they're going to go, and Deadpool and his, we'll call him mutant team for now. They might not be X-Men, so we'll just say Deadpool and his mutant team for now. So let me know what you think about all of this in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel news. And you can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.